Welcome to Clause 8, the #1 podcast on intellectual property, trusted by top in-house counsel, judges, and policymakers worldwide. Hosted by Eli Mazour, we bring you in-depth conversations with the personality shaping IP. Brought to you by TradeSpace, where ideas take flight.
Thank you for joining Clause 8.
Pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, and how does IP play a role in all that?
Sure. So my name is Praveer Gupta. I had patents and innovation strategy for Uniphore. Uniphore is an AI native company in the field of speech analytics and facial expression analytics. Speech analytics as it relates to helping call center agents in their work. Facial expression helps salespeople understand better about their customers. So you can understand there's a lot of analytics that's going on there. And generative AI has really changed a lot of how the technology is implemented. So now as to my role there is I take care of, I'm responsible for the entire innovation. So I actually hold workshops regularly to farm out inventions and then take them all the way to the finish line by filing patents using outside counsel or in-house. And I also then am de facto for all IP, so do trademarks, etc.
And why is your company spending time on IP? What's the...
Because I convinced them to. I think they want to go IPO, and the founder actually himself is pretty savvy about patents. One of the chief mentors is John Chambers from Cisco, so that kind of helps put that lineage back in. So the patents that's why is center. They understand that it's important. They also are at an early stage. AI is relatively new the way it's being evolved. So it's a reasonably wide space. And I showed them through competitive analytics that the older companies' filings are going down, whereas a lot of newer companies are starting to go up. So that kind of tells you that you're at a cusp of some sort of technological shift. And if you would want to dominate this space, you might as well file a lot more patents.
And something that came up today, actually, talking to others, but also a common theme of a podcast is how do you communicate the value of IP within the company? So you kind of sold on the vision to the executives through the Cisco heritage, but within the company, how do you kind of do that on that?
It's hard. I mean, one of the things like, the issues that keep me up at night, that kind of thing, it's one of my key things, the company culture and help, so my only access to that is one thing I did was I deliberately moved to the engineering organization, so I'm not a part of legal. And I tell people that, I studied law, but I don't tell them I'm a lawyer. I said, I tell them I'm an engineer, and I spend a lot of time with them. So whether it's workshops or just coming to the office only for talking to them, that's what I'm doing right now. It's working out well.
Yeah. And that's how you're able to get back to sleep.
That's true. Yeah. But in addition to that, I mean, one of the other things that worry me, just having that culture in, it's missing out on innovations because when I'm so close to them and I know that these guys are telling me only now when they're halfway building the product, or sometimes when the marketing's already talked to the customer, has told them that we're going to offer this, and I was like, guys, we had to file this a month ago. Yeah. So.
And I'm sure your company is based in the Bay Area, kind of a fast-moving innovation culture, and kind of how do you make sure that things like that don't happen?
Well, I try my best. I would be lying if I said I make sure of it. Yeah. But essentially, I'm holding workshops, I'm holding trainings. It's a part of now our onboarding that everybody understands that. And I'm also even training up people on trade secrets, like to understand that you need to start drawing now a clear line between what's patents, what's trade secrets, and things like that.
One thing I hear is that sometimes when you're encouraging patenting within a company, sometimes the people who have a time to file the invention disclosure forms are sometimes not the invention disclosure forms that you need, right? Like that.
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah.
So how do you balance that to kind of keep that enthusiasm going?
Oh, yeah. It's a good question because here's what I've done till now, and it's worked is I say, don't worry about a disclosure. There's a disclosure form. You actually can just literally go to the webpage, our internet parole, and answer questions. But I know they won't do it. So I said, just write me a text message saying, I have an idea, send me one email with a subject line of an idea. Just do that much and I will do the rest for you.
Okay.
So, but obviously it does not scale,
Yeah.
right? So right now I'm facing those issues. So till now it has worked. So you need somebody who's heavy lifting this stuff, but it's really hard to do. And it's something that really, I mean, if it made it easy for those guys to just put in their ideas easily, it'll become much better.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it doesn't seem like a big thing filling out a form.
No.
But for somebody who isn't regularly doing it,
No.
it's like a thing that
They just won't do it.
Yeah.
I have people who would, and I have this great idea. I'm going to write it after this meeting, after that. After it's 1 year, the guy's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So then you finally have to sit down with them and tell me, okay, what is the idea? I don't want to be, laughed at by other people because you didn't put in the idea in the disclosure.
Another thing you mentioned is the really trade secrets, and you're hearing more conversations about companies increasingly relying on trade secrets because for various reasons, including that they don't think they can get sufficient protection just by filing patents. But that's like another very complex area to navigate, keeping things actually secret,
Yeah.
while you're trying to, at the same time, educating them about disclosing stuff. How do you fit that in?
It's very tough. When I try to educate people on trade secret, they actually get almost offended in the sense that, oh, are you telling me that I can't use my brain anymore? So it's really hard to explain how trade secrets are to the technologists. Even trying to say that you need to differentiate, have different zones in the office, because of what you do should not be overlapping where it does not need to. So what we are doing currently is we are trying to tell them that, look, if you do not keep it a secret right now, you lose your competitive advantage, and that your stock value goes down or something or the other. But there's no easy way to do the trade secret thing. It's just you have to basically first you have to draw them out to tell you what their idea is. Then you have to kind of figure out, okay, which way are you going to go? And sometimes even though we know the detection is not easy, detection of infringement is not easy, we'll still file a patent just for the prestige value of it.
Yeah.
So, but where we can, when we absolutely know that nobody can actually ever figure it out, that's where I actually kind of put my foot down and say, like, we'll keep it a trade secret.
Right, interesting. All right. Well, great insights, but hopefully for a lighthearted question, any favorite invention that sticks out to you within your company or anywhere else?
Yeah, so I wrote both. One of the things I found at schools was reverse probabilistic categorization of intents. Just to give you a background, like when your caller calls in, you have to know what intent they're calling with. So it's like, okay, insurance, and then within that insurance, there's some categories. Most people will follow a top-down approach. This inventor, he basically started with reverse probability. So he started at the bottom of the tree, and it easily cut his branch out. So I found it very cool, being a math thing. So that's my favorite in my company. In general, the patent on a finger cover with bristles on it, so the finger toothbrush, that I think is one of the best inventions. It was, I think, done by a toddler's mom who thought that the finger is the best way to brush her kid's teeth. And it's so elegant and so useful. Yeah.
So anybody could be an inventor.
And that's what I like to say. Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining on Close 8.
Thank you for having me.